is trying to prove a point to India, I would say, particularly over the Ladakh and the status that the Union government has given to Ladakh in last August. So there is I would say Beijing is jittery, and it wants to kind of send a message that do not create infrastructure in Ladakh which challenges Chinese position there, because for them the Aksai Chin is paramount to their control over Xinjiang and Tibet, and it also helps to support their all-weather friendship with Pakistan, and therefore they want to prove a point here. They also probably, sending a signal to India, and this frequency I fear is going to increase in the coming months and coming years. Is there should be a boundary resolution as soon as possible, but that is not an easy task, because India would like to first clarify the line of actual control, and then go for a boundary solution. The special representatives have been meeting for that. It's also can be described as a general aggressive posture in the various fault lines to keep the PLA busy, because there have been PLA, as I understand, was becoming restless, and the leadership of the party wanted to kind of give them some breathing space. So what is as a best theatre, they know India is one of the best theatre in the land, because of the disputed territory, and in the South China Sea, because there are a number of smaller countries in that region and they're divided. So that is China's near-term goal, I would say. Premier Li Keqiang has himself admitted it in the National People's Congress, which is ongoing, and he has even admitted the income level of the Chinese, and it's not a very rosy picture. So there are already countries who have plans to shift their bases from China manufacturing units, and China was always nationalist, because that's how everybody is a member of a single party. There are no other option. But it's a party which owns the state. If I say, something like in Pakistan is the army owns the state. So it is easy to incite these kind of feelings, and poor economic or an average economic growth would the leadership would be a challenge to the leadership, because it was a contract between the leadership and the people of China that you give us the lifestyle and we will not challenge your leadership. If that is being threatened today, if the Chinese do not have that lifestyle, if they're not being able to travel abroad, and to have that lifestyle, the leadership has to manufacture some kind of outlet for that anger, for that frustration, and nothing is more suitable than fault lines like Hong Kong, Taiwan, South China Sea, some actions along the line of actual control. If you see the statements in the various Chinese English media, and I'm sure these are there in the language media also, they're encouraging anti-US statements. A lot of these are propaganda, no doubt about it, but this is the only option left for the leadership to shift the attention from the economic downturn that China is facing. And this has started even before COVID. The slump in the global economy, and US's president's intention to actually shift encouragement to the American companies to shift from China. That has already sent some signals. South Korean companies have already started planning elsewhere, and for the last 2-3 years various companies were looking at China plus one strategy. This included American companies, Japanese companies, and South Korean companies, and India was an option. Vietnam had become a very favorite destination for many of these companies. Thailand had got some investments. But what probably they are not calculating, and probably have miscalculated, is that this might compel India to get into a kind of close partnership with various countries who have similar concerns vis-a-vis China. Not everybody have territorial disputes, but then they have similar concerns with regard to democracy, transparency, and the way China is trying to undermine the international institutions. We can see some of the middle powers coming together, and if China cannot then blame that why there was a ganging up, because it has given It is giving the reasons for these countries to join hands. But how do we do it is probably it will be at India's pace, and how do we calibrate it. For that, capacity building internally is very important, and we just can't jump into it. We could probably see more close partnership with Australia because it's a regional power. It need not always be the United States of America, because it's a power which is on the retreat globally. But allies of US like Australia, Japan, South Korea, India, and Vietnam can also form a loose kind of an arrangement to force China to change its behavior.